Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about the Madam Web flick, which I was astounded because it was worse than I thought. Now, back when this movie was first announced, I was dumbfounded over the choice that they were going to make a Madam Web movie because first, she's a character that she's not very well known. The other day, a subscriber, when I did another video on the comic book version of this character, did mention that Madam Web played an important role during the Spider-Man animated series. So we have a group of people that do remember the character from there, but like outside of that, Madam Web in the comic books doesn't have too many appearances in general. So personally, I thought to myself, okay, due to her power set, you can do a really interesting movie. So you have like more liberty to try more crazy stuff on a narrative level. But we're talking about Sony Pictures that I'm still baffled with how mediocre the Venom movies were. And my God, Morbius was just, it was terrible. And I have not seen Kraven the Hunter yet, which I've heard only fantastic things about that movie too. But the thing is, let's get into this flick. So first, let's talk about our titular hero, Madam Web. And she's played by Dakota Johnson. And I have to say that her acting in this movie, it's not bad, but it's very, very stiff. It's really weird. Like all the actors in this movie feel like they're reading the script for the first time. Like they're going through the first run through and that's the first take and that's what's left on the movie. And the thing is that Cassandra Webb in this movie, I didn't like what they did with the character. She takes some really weird decisions throughout this whole flick, especially when she has to deal with the main villain of the movie and she has to protect these four girls. And the way her powers manifest and are used in this movie, at least I feel like the director did a poor job because every time she uses her powers or they activate, the scenes get very tedious and repetitive. Like I know what they were going for, but the editing and the way it's executed just does not work. Now we have the side characters, the four girls that I made a mistake. They're not four, the three that are going to evolve into different spider ladies. Like we have like a future Spider Woman. We have Araña and we have a Spider Girl. And you see them in costume at the beginning of the movie and in the trailers using their powers. Yeah, in the whole movie, you don't see them like that after that. Those were some really dishonest trailers there. And the acting of those three girls, again, was just not the best. Now, this is the writer's fault, and I've already mentioned this earlier, but our hero, Cassie Webb, and these three girls take so many stupid decisions. There are so many moments where they come off as complete idiots. It's astounding. It almost gets to the point where you almost want to root for the villain just to kill them, just to put them out of their misery. Then we get the main villain to the movie, Ezekiel Sims, who is a very interesting character in the comic books, but like his story arc was fascinating, but the payoff at the end and his like connection to Spider-Man just sort of fell flat. I thought to myself, okay, there's potential with this villain in this movie. They can like fix those mistakes and make them super cool. But no, they did a terrible job with Ezekiel, and especially with the way he talks. For some reason, he sounds like Andrew Tate in a lot of scenes. And there are many moments you can tell that they re-recorded his lines and it just sounds really off. So the main plot of the movie is that Ezekiel wants to steal this power from this magical spider that lives in the Peruvian jungle. He discovers that Cassandra Webb's mother was studying these spiders and she's able to find one out in the wild. He ends up killing her, but the thing is that she's pregnant and she was bitten by the spider, so she gives these magical powers to her daughter. He's able to get these powers himself. He escapes, but Cassandra Webb's mother is saved by these magical beings that have the powers of the Arañas, and they're called the Arañas. I probably messed up that whole explanation, but the thing is, when you do get to see these mythological spider people come out of the jungle in their costumes, I laughed out loud. Like, they look terrible. The whole scene and the special effects are just atrocious. On that scene alone, if I worked at Sony and I saw that before the movie came out, I would say, kill the movie. It doesn't come out. Then we cut to the future where we have Ezekiel Sims having these visions that these three spider ladies are going to hunt him down and kill him. So he preemptively tries to find them in the world before they get their powers and kill them off. And then we have Cassandra Webb manifesting her powers and She ends up protecting these 3 girls because they are all connected. So, like, I made a list of things that really just didn't work in this movie. So, top of my list, spider people. They made me laugh out loud when I saw them. Then we have this whole situation where Cassandra Webb, she like works on an ambulance. She's not the driver, but like she's the one that gets out and helps rescue the people and get them into the ambulance in the first place. And there are many scenes where they're at accidents and at fires where everything's super quiet in those scenes for some reason. There's this really big fire at one moment in the movie where it's at a fireworks factory and there's like a ton of fire trucks. There's no sirens going on. It should be total chaos, the whole scene, but everyone's like sort of walking around or just jogging around trying to stop this fire. The people that they pull out from the fire just look like actors trying to act like they're sleeping. Those scenes are freaking hilarious. Then we get this insanely stupid scene where Cassandra Webb's powers start to kick in. She starts to see visions. And instead of going to a neurologist, she goes to an eye doctor. Like, she works with medical professionals. Like, one would guess she would know those differentiations. Then we get another incredibly stupid scene after Cassandra saves these 3 girls from Ezekiel Sims, who's wearing this really weird, dark Spider-Man costume that really doesn't work for me. So the thing is that they're trying to lay low. They're out of the city. And what happens is she goes off to investigate one thing, and the girls go to a diner, and they see a bunch of guys that they like, and they start dancing on tables. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, these girls were almost killed by this guy. They should be scared for their lives, and they're dancing on these tables. Then we get, like, another situation where Cassandra wants to investigate things about her past that are tied to this whole situation. She leaves these 3 girls with Ben Parker, who was the guy that drove her ambulance, at this motel, and she travels to Peru to investigate what had happened to her mother and where her powers come from. And that whole scenario, it's so absurd and unlikely. And last but not least, the Pepsi product placement in this movie. For the love of God, it's really on the nose. It's even a big part of the final climactic battle that we get with Ezekiel Sims. So I'm going to give this movie a stupid score of 0. I can't find any redeeming qualities to this movie, sadly. So I hope you guys like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.